I know for a fact that Selena Gomez's kidney donor was Justin Bieber's mom. God, I wish that I had my phone so that I could prove it. Prove what?
In the reboot of Saved by the Bell, now on NBC's Peacock streaming service, the show referenced Selena Gomez's 2017 kidney transplant, and the uproar from fans led the network to issue an apology. Hey guys, welcome back to another shared news from home. Before we get into this story, if you are new here, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring that bell so you don't miss any future videos from us. As always, I'm your host, Tyler Joseph Ellis. First, I think we need some context here. I'm going to give some context before we get into the story. So the early 90s sitcom Saved by the Bell is back with a lot of the original cast reprising their roles. And in the 6th episode of this series, the show made several references to Selena Gomez's real-life kidney surgery that she had back in 2017.
Now, I know for a fact that Selena Gomez's kidney donor was Justin Bieber's mom. God, I wish that I had my phone so that I could prove it. Prove what? That you're an idiot? It was Demi Lovato's kidney.
If you are unaware, Selena Gomez has been really open about her battles with lupus. And lupus is an autoimmune disease that occurs when your body's immune system starts attacking your own tissues and your own organs, which of course can lead to a lot of life-threatening complications. And in Selena's case, it led to a kidney transplant. She needed a kidney transplant, and her friend, Francia Raisa, who you may know from Secret Life of the American Teenager or Grownish, she volunteered one of her own kidneys. So that happened in 2017. So that's some context for you, in case you were unaware. Which brings us to what was said on the show, which of course led to the uproar that happened this past weekend. In one scene in this episode, 2 students are speaking on the transplant, and one says, quote, "Now I know for a fact that Selena Gomez's kidney donor was Justin Bieber's mom. God, I wish I had my phone so that I could prove it." To which the other student replies, "Prove what? That you're an idiot? It was Demi Lovato's kidney. They're best friends like you and I were." So of course, these 2 references to both Justin Bieber's mom and Demi Lovato are not at all the source of contention here, but I think we should note that of course Justin and Selena used to date. I mean, they had a long relationship. So there's that. Remember that happened? And Demi Lovato and Selena Gomez, of course, share a very long history. I mean, coming up in the Disney Channel together. But they're ultimately not friends today, at least according to an interview that Demi Lovato had with Harper's Bazaar this year. So there's already contention with both of those references, though that's not what fans are upset about. I just thought I'd mention it. So later in the same episode, wall graffiti in another scene appears to read, quote, "Does Selena Gomez even have a kidney?" Question mark. So, okay, so these are the 2 things, right? So without any sort of context, I think this is a sitcom, and both of these instances are of course meant to be just silly pop culture references that don't appear to hold much weight. So of course that is what at least Saved by the Bell thought they were doing. And ultimately Selena did recover from this surgery. I mean, she is alive today. The transplant was successful. And I think due to the success of the surgery, the show probably was like, great, we're just going to greenlight this reference in light of the situation because ultimately it was successful. So everyone can laugh about it if it's successful, right? So I think what they failed to realize was that Selena has been very open with her fans about her health struggles. I mean, her condition is something she takes very, very seriously. And she once told the Today Show that she went through chemotherapy and had to write a will before her procedure. So, I mean, this is serious stuff. And I just think when you hear kidney transplant, it's like, oh, it's a kidney transplant. But I don't think they knew a lot of the background going into it. Or they did. I don't know. There's no way to know. But I'm assuming they did not. So as you can imagine, fans were not pleased. They took to Twitter to defend her. And Respect Selena Gomez was in fact trending this past Saturday. So a large group of fans tweeting at the show. One fan wrote, quote, "Does Selena Gomez even have a kidney?" is written on the wall in a TV show, Saved by the Bell. "This is so unprofessional, unnecessary, and beyond disgusting." Another wrote, "Selena has been through so much in her life with her kidney transplant, constant battle with lupus, and her struggle with bipolar disorder. It makes me sick how some people think it's funny to joke about a disease. Respect Selena Gomez." Another fan tweeted, "I just found out what the Saved by the Bell reboot just pulled, and I'm disgusted. I'm not a Selena Gomez fan, and I never have been, but making fun of someone's illness is never acceptable." So of course, this uproar, following all of this uproar on social media, Peacock and Universal TV and the executive producers of the show issued an apology, stating, quote, "We apologize. It was never our intention to make light of Selena's health. We have been in touch with her team and will be making a donation to her charity, the Selena Gomez Fund for Lupus Research at USC." So a response. They responded very quickly and they're going to be donating money. So great. As for Selena, she has yet to actually speak publicly about this incident. But her best friend and kidney donor, Francia, did tweet, quote, "Appreciate the apology, but let's not forget about the donors that potentially felt offended and dismissed from the spray paint written on the wall." Okay. Very messy situation. And I don't think Saved by the Bell could ever have anticipated these two sort of references in this episode of their show to blow up this much. I mean, of course, I don't think they would ever have done it if they thought it was at all offensive. I mean, I think they were like, oh, great, it's Selena Gomez, a celebrity. Her fans seem to know she got a kidney transplant. That was in the news a few years back. So great, we'll use that. But ultimately, because a successful kidney transplant seems harmless in terms of the comedic value. But the woman or the women behind this transplant is what matters and is what I think was lost in this translation. I think fans are going to support Selena Gomez. Selena has not been dealt a very easy deck. Of course, I mean, Selena has been a successful musician, an actress, a philanthropic sort of force. I mean, she has her own fund for lupus research. I mean, she has now become a kind of guiding force in terms of research for this disease. So due to lupus being the reason of this kidney transplant, I just think it was sort of, you don't touch that. You don't touch that in terms of comedic sort of value, especially when it was so like unimportant to the plot or anything. It was just like a offhand comment. The Selena fandom is a very real one. And if they think something is out of line, they're going to make it known. So of course, I'm so glad that they apologized so quickly. And I think action definitely speaks louder than words. And the donation to the charity makes a lot of sense to me and seems like they don't feel great about it. Of course, some fans on Twitter are like, you should go one step further and go back, repost the episodes without the references in them. We'll see if that ends up happening. I don't know. But that is everything we have to share with you for now. As always, we do want to know your thoughts. So please let us know down in the comments. Do you think Saved by the Bell was in the wrong? Do you appreciate their apology? What are your thoughts on the whole situation? We do want to know what you think. And before you go, please be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss any future videos from us. If you want more from me, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at TylerJoe33 and on TikTok at Tyler Joseph Ellis. That's all we have for you now. I hope you all are staying safe and happy holidays, I guess. It's almost December. Wild. Until next time.